guys, welcome back to QuakeCon 2012. Earlier today we had Zoot and Disrepute. Zoot popped off for a little bit. It'll be Disrepute and I covering the next few games in the group stages of the Masters Duel tournament. And next up we've got an awesome match. It's going to be CZM and rapha, of course. rapha, of course, taking top prize last year.
He did.
CZM making his comeback to QuakeCon after a long absence and actually getting a very admirable 4th place. So really great stuff out of both of these players over the past year. Of course, rapha has been taking everything he's ever enrolled in. And CZM, playing a little bit more under the scenes, but I think we can expect a lot of good play out of him.
Yeah, I think rapha's established himself as probably the best Quake Live player now. Only maybe
today.
Challenged by Cypher. We'll see what happens at QuakeCon.
Well, yeah, because 2010 was an upset. I don't know if it's technically an upset, but I was upset about rapha being knocked out at the stage that he was. So definitely a lot of ego on the line, a lot of bragging rights on the line, but this should be an excellent match.
Well, it looks like rapha's not actually on the server after all.
He's
disconnected.
He's got better things to do.
I do often lie about these things, so
yeah.
I do apologize about that.
But actually, I'm really excited about the way the coverage is shaping up for QuakeCon 2012, just because not only do we get to cover the Masters Duel and CTF, I love it when CTF is on the billet, we also get to see the keynote, which, granted, a little bit delayed this year for reasons unbeknownst to myself. But we are going to see John Carmack uncensored live
on the stream.
So that's a first. So yeah, you don't have to go anywhere. I know I'm not. I'm actually going to get to watch it this year and not miss a single. Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. So yeah, a lot of good games. And for those of you who are wondering about tournaments that are going on during the keynotes, during some of the panels that we're going to be streaming, don't worry, because everything's going to be recorded and we can play it back later. So it might not be live technically, but if you're watching the stream, you're going to be watching QuakeCon coverage all week.
Yeah, so be excited. Tune in. Just leave it on 24/7.
Yeah.
The stream.
Got nothing better to do.
Yeah, quit your job. just watch the stream all day. It looks like they're asking if we're ready. So
yeah, we're good to go, man.
We are ready to rock.
Sounds good.
Ready to rock. CZM rapha. Who's going to win? Call it right now.
Really? Because, I mean, we all know who the favorite boy is, but, it's the natural instinct to want to see, see some upsets.
I want to see CZM. Yeah. I want to see that classic player. He's
Absolutely.
A previous winner himself.
Yep.
I want to see CZM dominate. The favorite, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that today rapha is definitely, where he is, but, nobody stays there without any hard work, and I have to hand it to rapha. He's done a very good job of keeping his edge sharp. He hasn't really, let himself whittle out over any period of time. So, QuakeCon is a lot of bragging rights. It's a lot to prove, especially when you have players like Cypher coming over, like CZM coming back from a long vacation.
Yeah. 0 for all.
Yeah. How could I forget? Yeah. Okay, cool. Actually, guys, we are going to be running a little bit of content as far as, showing off the best that Toxicity has to show off.
Impressive.
Not quite sure what to think about that.
Nice little overview of Toxicity there.
It looks like your cursor is a little over-friendly there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just kick that cursor out of there. But, actually, everybody, this is my own personal experience, but everybody on QuakeCon staff, at least until today, has been kind of walking around with this dazed look on their face, and it took me a while to realize what it is. Nothing is blowing up. Nothing is on fire. There are, of course, issues, but things are running a million times better than they've...
So nothing's dangerous.
Run a long time. Yeah, dangerous. So everybody's, waiting for the other shoe to drop. But so far, everything is going fantastically, and that's got everybody on edge.
Just waiting for that moment.
It's that classic QuakeCon pessimism that's, hard to buck off.
Well, it's good. It's good to be prepared for those things. Ready and waiting for disasters.
Yeah.
I'm sure there won't be, though.
And rapha CZM know that we're ready.
Yeah.
Because we are
ready to go.
Yeah. so Rapha, CZM, both very cranial players. A map like Toxicity will certainly be interesting. And here we go, guys.
Rapha vs CZM. QuakeCon 2012.
Here we go. After the little bit of lag, it's always fun. But we have Rapha spawning a rocket launcher, getting that grab very quickly. He's going to be on the red armor side, top side. He should be able to get a clean drop down, but we are seeing CZM be a little bit aggressive. One rail will make sure that CZM can't get too close to Rapha without paying for it. But look at the constant pressure coming out of CZM here. Rapha's gotten away with armor, he's gotten away with weapons, but CZM is making sure that he's not going to be enjoying that armor for very long.
Yeah, just delaying that red ever so slightly. It's going to be pretty close to the mega time here, but I don't know if he's going to split the two, or is he going to try and work and fight for this red first? Or is he trying to play it around so he can get in on the mega? It looks like he's going to go for that option. In fact, to get to CZM
he's got CZM in the corner. It's going to be a ton of damage, but Rapha is going to be, you know, keeping his priorities in check, making sure that armor is up on him, and CZM, again, rushing and looking for that rocket splash. Instead, going to be receiving a ton of damage from Rapha there, so...
Switch round to CZM, have a look at what he's got. Yeah. 50 armor on the board. Too much more health than just off the spawn. He's actually not got a railgun yet. And this kind of map, rail can be very dominant. A lot of long-range battles, or at least damage, dealt out.
Yeah, Rapha's been keeping good control of the red armor room, which is no simple task at all. CZM's wanting to throw down as much rockets as possible. That last one not quite connecting the way he wanted it to. He's able to escape back through teleporter just in time for the grab of Mega, but no, Rapha with one rail will be getting the first frag up on the board, and getting a frag with 170-170 must feel good.
It's a massive advantage going in for that second frag as well. CZM off the spawn, didn't even take any damage. Picking out that one, he does take a rail shot though, and a second rail as well from CZM. Even a third does pick up the red in between there. And look at that. He does so much damage, but I mean, Rapha just able to back up onto that red. He's still in a dominant position, especially going to pick up this upper yellow on top of that, and now move towards the mega.
Lower yellow was acquired by CZM. I mean, it was going to be a long stretch for him to even be able to pick that up, but he's gotten the grab. He survived getting through that teleporter even after being shoved back in the corner there, so good damage out of him. And Rapha is now railable, 2 rails out of CZM. I mean, this is a really aggressive map as far as just needing to pummel your opponent until they go down, and CZM is keeping that aggression up. The tables have turned as far as item control goes, with CZM picking up RA.
Going to switch around to CZM now. Yeah, he does have the armor advantage with that red armor. Lower yellow on top of that. 10 seconds to go until the mega. That'll be the next major item. He's working on the other side of the map at the moment. Just catching sight of Rapha there. Going to chase him down with this lightning gun. It should be a free pickup. Oh, just taking a bit off.
Nothing is free in Toxicity. But CZM is now able to convert that mega over to some aggression on red, and he's going to be receiving some damage, but Rapha's not going to be sticking around for the long haul. So CZM still holding on to a decent stack. A little bit blindsided about Rapha, but he deals with it beautifully by popping Rapha up across the map. It's going to be a ton of damage coming his way.
Just take that little bit of rocket damage. Going to have to choose maybe between the mega and the red at this point. Looks like he's going to go down for the red. It is just ahead, but I mean 3 seconds is going to be pretty close, and I presume Rapha's going to be able to put in a bit of a challenge over it.
A bit more of a conservative approach, but no, Rapha is nowhere to be found on the mega, and you can see CZM is a little bewildered. I know I would be too, but hey, CZM is happy to have what he's got, and I was looking for the railheads, but right now Rapha whittling him down a little bit here.
Switch round to Rapha, have a watch it. The way he's playing this map so far, the next major item is that red.
Oh!
That side of it from CZM, heavy rocket damage there. He's just going to back off and get this upper ground on CZM.
And great baiting on that red armor. Rapha was able to get out of the room without taking much more damage, but Rapha is in a good position to lay out the long-range rails. Well, CZM's going to be getting away from that a little bit, and hopefully Rapha cannot miss that mega health once again.
Wow,
yeah, it's going to be going over to CZM.
In the air by that rocket there. And yeah, CZM comes out on top with the lightning gun finish. Next major item is that red armor. It looks like Rapha's going to just try and deal out some damage. In fact, it looks like he's going to try and grab it right in front of CZM. Very risky decision, but
Oh, Rapha pulling out of that like a champ. CZM going, there's no way Rapha can get out of this alive. Oh, and dropping down, always so very risky, and ended up paying a hefty price for it. We're now getting close to the halfway point here. 6-on-1, a fairly low-scoring score here for Toxicity, but Rapha maintaining some very heavy control here.
The last couple of minutes have been CZM in control, but he just couldn't pick up any frags, and then as soon as the opportunity came for Rapha to get a frag, bang, straight away, back on the scoreboard.
So Rapha looking for a little bit of long-range damage, and he's going to be able to get that hit. Hopefully CZM can manage to maintain that momentum after the spawn and start doing some more damage either with LG or Rail, but Rapha not in a really easily railable position at this point, and CZM, again, keeping his pressure up, but he just doesn't have the weapons, doesn't have the position to make anything good come out of it.
Rapha sporting a 63% rail at the moment, so CZM's not going to be safe across the other side of the map. Nice rocket play by CZM. Does a hell of a lot of damage, only 60 health on the board for Rapha at the moment. Now picks up that upper yellow. CZM could go aggressive here, get the frag.
One rail determining it, so now 6 frags between the two. CZM a little bit light on the health, a little bit light on the stack, but this is a good opportunity for him to start to get some real map control. But what you were saying is absolutely right. He's been able to get some decent items. The hits just haven't been coming as often, as consistently for CZM here. Red Armor's going to be up. He's going to be looking more for damage here. And that's actually a good shift that we're seeing earlier. He was prioritizing items above damage on Rapha, and that certainly made him reconsider his tack here.
Does just miss out on that red pickup. Didn't really do as much damage as you would have hoped either. He did manage to grab the Mega before that. Now the yellow armor, he can wait for that, the upper yellow. As Rapha takes the longest, switch down to Rapha, who's, well, he's got a massive armor stack.
Clock is on his side. He's wanting to keep as much stack for as long as possible, let CZM make the first move over to red or Mega and start to really make that punishable, because here on Toxicity, both Mega and, beautiful pair of rails. Both red and Mega very exploitable here, and Rapha is wanting to just milk CZM for all that damage. So yeah, great rails, great follow-up, and CZM's going to be pulled down once again.
It's just so clean as well. I mean, so no damage from CZM, so CZM's got to start again, he's got to build up a stack, he's got to get his weaponry without getting killed in the process, and it just takes another minute or so out of his game time. He's got to try and bring this back.
Decent rockets, but Rapha isn't overcommitting to this fight here. He's staying back, letting CZM expose himself, looking for a few rails, getting some whiffs though, which could be dangerous for Rapha coming into red armor. He might have to choose a different route. He's looking for CZM, he's going to be trading rails, Mega Health is going to be available, but that leaves him not so well off. Now CZM can get that red armor for free and come back into this fight much better off.
LG damage was insane there, we're going to have to switch over. He's only got 8 health left, CZM, so he's probably in the better position in terms of health and armor there going into that fight, but he just did no damage, he just took so much LG. It's going to again have to start from square one, and there's the frag for Rapha with the rocket.
And we're running out of time for CZM to really make anything happen here on Toxicity, but this is Rapha. I mean, this is the guy that we see, you know, realize, okay, I'm low on the stack, but my opponent is also going to be taking a lot of damage. He's going to be much more aggressive on that red armor, and I could just wait it out. And he's able to take advantage of that situation nearly every time.
8 frags is the margin. 2 minutes 20 seconds left. Red armor is going to be the next major item up. Looks like Rapha's in a good position to deal out some damage from above. Just trying to spot the movement of CZM there. Oh, wow! 2 great rockets from CZM, although Rapha did return with a lot of damage himself, including that rail shot as he backs off onto the upper yellow.
He's still holding on to 100, 120, picking up both yellow armors on his way across the map. CZM stuck in the rail corner for a little bit longer. I mean, he's still going to be okay on armor, but yeah, putting that much map control in Rapha's hands meant that Rapha could pick that frag up at will.
It's looking very difficult now with this control that Rapha's just not going to give up on the map without CZM just putting out something incredible. I mean, Rapha's really not known for any mistakes. And look at this duel, the LG versus LG. Rapha just backing off in the end, pretty wisely. In fact, just trying to CZM, yeah, he probably came out better out of that one.
And we see another spam rail coming out of Rapha that CZM had to react to instead of anticipate. And that's really just a marked point throughout this entire match.
Rapha's aim recently has really gone up a level, I think. And his rail play, especially on this map, we saw this stream as well, was just incredible.
Yeah. It's a good token rail out of CZM, but with 1 minute left on the clock, it is a rather wide margin to catch up.
It's all about momentum at this point then, just going into the second map, being on top at the end of this one. Getting those frags on the board, getting your aim in a little bit better. That's all he can really aim for. I mean, I guess in theory it's possible if Rapha's going to throw away a load of frags, but that's just not Rapha.
CZM making all that effort to control yellow armor. You know that Rapha's not going to be showing up anywhere near those important items right now. He's going to be burning the clock, using that to his advantage, and making sure he has a rail. I mean, it was a good sniff out of where CZM was going to be moving, where Rapha could safely pick up weapons, and fortunately for him, it was a rail.
So 30, well, just under 30, 25 seconds left now. Rapha going to take this one, and he pops CZM up in the air, finishes him off. Nice control. Rocket back there. CZM just... Right, it's kind of garbage time as it's called now, I guess.
Yeah, CZM committed to a lot of kind of throwaway fights early on in the match in an effort to wrest away control, wrest away that god stack off of Rapha, but during mid-game, he really kind of let that slide.
I think it's really the first couple of minutes when CZM had control in that period, and he only got one frag out of it.
Yeah.
It just, when you have control on a small map like that especially, you've got to pick up quite a few frags. So, looking at the control stats, actually Rapha just a couple ahead in the red armors. And he's actually behind in the megas. So it's mainly that yellow armor control, 25 to 16 we can see there on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but Rapha was perfectly willing to give up items if it meant having a geometrical and weapon advantage over CZM.
Oh.
So we're going to be pulling it to... Whoa. That's fun.
It's a new view to Quake Live. New addition for QuakeCon, maybe. A spinning view.
Oh, I prefer a spinning view over a spinning logo, you know?
I don't know, I like the spinning logo. Let's get it back.
I'm glad somebody did, you know?
Let's have a campaign to bring it back. Yeah. Spinning logo only.
Oh, QuakeCon. Maybe just set up a second stream with just that on, you know?
I wonder how many viewers. 2,000 just to see a spinning logo?
Yeah.
I can believe it, yeah. So we're going to the second map now. The first chance we've got to see this Lost World.
And seeing Rapha CZM on Lost World is just a beautiful thing, really. This is going to be one intense match. Not a very fast one, I don't think.
I don't imagine so either.
We've seen 0-0 overtimes before with these guys.
So make sure you've made your drink already, guys. Get ready to sit down for maybe half an hour of this map.
And we have F3s and a countdown. Rapha versus CZM map 2 here in the group stages of QuakeCon 2012 here on Lost World. Here we go.
And we're live with CZM moving out to its midfield position straight away. Mega picked up by Rapha across the other side of the map, and CZM will have spotted that, or should be able to work it out at least, as he'll move for the 2 yellows. Should suggest maybe Rapha will go back for that red, although it is up at the moment. Actually, just switch around to Rapha, see what he's going to do. Oh, he's
getting a little dusty. He's being
position.
very risky, very tricky though. But it's going to be all about this execution here.
So interesting. See what happens. Can he hear CZM above?
Wow, look at that. He delays red armor grab by a whole 28 seconds, which is going to mean that he can move fairly quickly to Mega. Of course, CZM is going to be blocking that off, and it's not like Rapha really has any weapons, so he's going to be leaving Mega up, not choosing to go in for that fight. But now the rest of the map should be fairly safe for him for the moment. And he, depending on CZM's position at that time, should have timing on this red.
CZM comes in so aggressively with the rockets, pulls out the shaft, and Rapha just defensive with that lightning gun, dropping off the red. This is... I don't know how this is going at the moment. I'm going to switch around to CZM in a second. I don't want to do it too early. There we go. Let's have a look. Well, yeah.
Got to go back for that yellow. Yeah.
Rapha coming out massively on top of that fight then.
Next fight's going to be over Mega. It's going to be a very close timing between Mega and Red, however. So CZM crossing mid-map is going to have a good view. Should be able to... Oh! Good ambush out of Rapha there. Good rocket pop. It's not going to prevent CZM from getting a fairly clean Mega, but that does leave red armor up for an easy grab off of Rapha. Nice LG.
Jump up. CZM predicted it. I'll say nice LG in defense. He's going to have to try and make his way around to this upper yellow. Rapha will try and stop him taking that route. And then it'll be up for the red, which I think Rapha's had it on red so far. So.
Yeah, and it doesn't really look like CZM's going to be able to make much of an entry on this red. He's in a good position to spam Rapha as he makes a grab and or goes to teleporter. But he kind of forces CZM to drop down. I mean, CZM didn't know Rapha's position coming out of yellow armor, so really good prediction out of that. So CZM says, fine, I'll go take Mega. That's alright with me.
And then I'll just try and rocket jump out. Oh, he's been caught up the bounce pad here by Rapha's LG, and there's the first frag. And it's such a dangerous route to take, and Rapha predicted it perfectly to catch him out.
So 2 minutes for the first frag, a really high-paced game of Lost World here so far.
Going into the record books and the frags, it looks like in this case. In 32% LG there. Obviously spammed by a lot, goes aggressive in this lower sort of basement area, I guess.
Yeah, CZM going for those 5 health pickups, you know, it really stuck him in the corner.
Not the safest route to take in this. Well, it could be 3-0 here. He should come out on top in this fight as well. He's done a lot of damage though with the lightning gun. That's one thing he can hope that he can then move in on.
That was, however, a lot of damage that CZM pulled off with the LG there. Rapha really committed to that fight and ended up paying for it a little bit, so that means that red armor's going to be a little less safe for him. Mega is going to be doable, but I think Cesium knows that he's done the damage during that last frag. Rapha is just going to have to back off and take what YAs are available.
Yeah, it's nice play by Rapha. He didn't take any damage backing off there, and he's turned it around to something a lot more manageable in terms of both the yellows' position. He knows where Cesium is. It did a bit of damage. Let's switch around to Cesium, see how he's doing. Well, he's got that mega stack, 145 health, 44 armor.
Taking a lot of grenade spam on the red armor. Cesium's got the grab with 140, 140, but now he needs a way out. Rapha ready for him on top of the map. No damage taken out of the teleporter, though, so Rapha, again, choosing to leave that fight very early, and a perplexed Cesium is going to be getting that mega almost for free. A few grenades popping down, but no damage taken. Cesium just needs to get back out mid-map, top map, and be able to use his stack offensively against Rapha.
He's just at that stage now, Rapha, where he doesn't really need to commit to anything. He
no.
Just play it pretty safe, keep a stack, just do a bit of ranged damage, and Cesium's the guy who's going to have to create something there. Rapha just blocking him off in that doorway with the rocket. Cesium pushing through, lightning gun in hand. And that red armor's collected by Rapha and he escapes.
Cesium trades that with yellow armor, which really mitigates any chance for Cesium to do damage on the exit for red. But he's still top of the map, he's still got a decent position, taking a bit more damage on that mega, but good timing for him. And so again, he's still in a good place to be able to force a fight on Rapha, which is no easy task on Lost World.
He's got this upper yellow. I mean, that's probably the most interesting aspect of his control at the moment. Now he takes the red as well. There is that lower yellow that will be up at the middle of the map, which Rapha has taken. He's got to be careful going up this bounce pad then, considering Rapha's around that area. There you go again. But Rapha wasn't going to commit to that. He's not going to commit when he doesn't need to. There we go. Rapha going aggressive though with the rockets on this occasion.
He must have been expecting Cesium to be leaving yellow armor at that point.
Yeah.
But Cesium committing to mid-map, and good for him too, because with Mega and Red Armor coming up so close, that's a fight you can at least win one item out of most likely. But he's a little bit light on ammo, 4 rockets left now, and he's got to have an exit.
5 minutes.
Rapha's rockets there, and he hasn't taken a massive amount of damage, so he's not looking completely tanked. So let's see if when he gets to the centre ground, if Rapha's just going to pop a shot and move away. I'd imagine he's just going to keep back. Well, he's pushing forwards there into a rocket. I mean, it's kind of surprising. I'm going to switch around to Rapha and see how he is playing this one.
Yeah, and with Rapha doing just enough damage on Cesium between armor pickups, he's really making sure that Cesium is focused on those armors, on that Mega. He's very item-centric right now, and that's really robbing him of much chance to set up an ambush on Rapha.
Very nice fake rocket jump there, making Cesium move away, caught him in the back with the lightning gun. Looking very controlled Rapha about this, knows what he's doing. Just say always pushing out, just do that bit of damage, stopping Cesium getting into an absolutely dominant position.
So that last rocket that Rapha took really stuck him in a bit of a corner. He's going to have to be careful with his exit to mid here. Cesium is going to be ready and waiting for him, being up top, well actually down by red armor now. He knows that Rapha really doesn't have a better place to be at the moment.
He's just got to wait for this yellow to be up if he can move away. The other yellow is up at the same time on the other side of the map. See if Cesium's going to push on that one or...
And no aggression from Cesium on the pickup, so Rapha is able to fade away into the mid fairly successfully here. But now that he knows that Rapha's going to be back by LGYA, Rapha's got to wait this out a little bit. But, you know, he's very eager to burn as much time as possible here.
And he has burned a lot of time. I mean, since 3-0, I mean, that was 4 minutes ago or something. We got that scoreline, so we haven't seen a frag in quite a long period of the map. This yellow could be baited out.
Yeah, it's the only thing to play for right now, and Cesium is going to push in on it. In fact, he's going to be very aggressive on it. Rapha's rocket shoving him in a corner, but, you know, hug rockets are going to cut both ways. Cesium getting on the board. That's exactly what Rapha didn't want to let happen, because as he is only 3 frags up, that can fade away very quickly.
Yeah, I think he slightly misread that. It seemed like he thought he'd done quite a lot of damage and maybe caught Cesium out. But Cesium just got the better of the bounce on the rockets, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's some situations like that yellow armor room where it's almost a flip of the coin in some ways. Yeah.
He did do a fair amount of damage, but I mean, Cesium was able to back off onto items again and stack up, so he's still got that control. But with that kind of damage that Rapha just dealt out there, he's just going to have to be cautious as he moves forwards. Rapha's still just going to play that same game plan, just make it hard for Cesium to really move in and take control of the whole map.
But again, Cesium's very focused on these items. He's got a ton of health right now. Rapha's going to be fading back over towards LGYA. I mean, Cesium can control this lower YA just fine. But now he needs to find Rapha as he exits. Interesting position for him.
Trying to ambush Rapha in some way there.
Yeah, but we heard him running away.
Does take the red armor. Rapha now at the Mega. So he's looking for an ambush.
One beautiful rocket, one perfect hit, and CZM had no way to retaliate on that. He's still going to be showing up for Mega, which again really exposes him to all sorts of damage from Rapha, and I think right now Rapha would be quite pleased if he could milk one more frag out of him before the end of the map.
Here it is, it could be this moment here. Pops CZM up, although he's backed off around the corner. That's a great rocket direct to the chest of CZM, and he can't be looking very good now. I'm going to switch around to him. No, only 61 health. It does just pick up that red though in the 50 health, bringing him up to 100. Hasn't got many rockets left, so he'll have to replenish them. Always important on this map to have a lot of rockets.
1 minute and 30 seconds though. CZM has to find Rapha in a corner and quick.
Here we go, the Mega. This could be the time to move out. Does just fail that rocket jump, but it won't cost him too much time. Rapha spamming rockets from across the map. He's only got one rocket now, CZM. He's going to be so cautious when he goes into a fight with only one rocket.
It's a very plus back map. At least Rapha's made it a plus back map with the way he's playing it out right now. But 1 minute left. Oh, and Rapha catching CZM in the backside with a ton of LG. CZM's going to have to work a lot harder to get back up to the stack that he had, but he simply doesn't have time to get stack and make frags now. It's one or the other.
Yeah, he's just going to have to push. He's just going to have to risk it. Just grab that and now go. Just find Rapha. Where is he?
Now red armor is up, and CZM really can't pay too much attention to it right now. He's got to push him back through towards Plasma and start baiting out some of the sounds. Maybe catch him at Y, but no, Rapha's not going for the bait. He knows he's only got to survive 30 more seconds.
There is Rapha, just almost was able to catch him on the bounce pad if he'd just been a second earlier, but he's finding it difficult to find Rapha now. They switch round to Rapha, see where he is. Oh, he's just buying that bounce pad. Of course, there's effectively 3 routes of escape in that area, so it's a good spot to be in.
Absolutely, and Rapha's going to be just fine in his little corner. 10 seconds. Is he even going to fire on CZM? Yes, he is. CZM trying to rocket jump back up to make this a fight worth having, but Rapha's going to get it anyway. That rocket jump not really doing what CZM wanted. So 4-on-1. Rapha taking CZM in this 2-0 series.
As interesting set of statistics there. 13, 13, 13 on the pickup items for CZM. Kind of suggesting that he just ran all of those at the same time. But unfortunate for CZM there. He had the amount of time, it's just Rapha's play there, really good defensive play. Just doing the damage. He didn't just hide, that's the difference. He would move out, do damage at range, and then move back into...
well, yeah, it does you no good if you're hiding and your opponent is running around with 200 and has no place better to be than on top of you.
Yeah.
But Rapha, again, was just doing enough damage between items to make it so that CZM kind of had to weigh his risks and rewards, and he always went for the item. I don't fault him for it. That's just the metagame that Rapha was relying on.
Yeah, it's just that map specifically. It works so well to be in that kind of style. But it's just the early frags. I mean, if you're going to give away those early frags to Rapha, you're going to come up against that kind of game.
Absolutely. But guys, we have a ton more Quake Live coming up. In fact, our next match is going to be ID versus Rox, and if you're raising your eyebrow about Rox, it was actually KGB who ended up not being able to make it in time for the Masters stuff. He is still playing in the Open, I believe, but for the Masters Cup, it's going to be Rox that we're going to be seeing a lot of. So, if you haven't seen Rox play before or not much, then you're going to against ID.